Hey, so in this video, we're talking about using arrays and for loops together. This is like when programming gets good. Okay, before this, we've seen for loops and they're useful, but when you combine them with arrays, you can do so much useful crap super easy. So I'm going to start out by making an array of strings. String array, my words equals a new string array. Now, I have four things to put in here, and I could say my words at index 0 equals blah, 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 and then so on and so forth. But there's actually a shorthand that we can use. So with any array, instead of saying new string, there's a shorthand for initializing an array with values already. And that shorthand is a set of curly braces. And every value you put in here, separated by commas, will go into the array. And it will make it the length that you put in. So I can put something like I, comma, love, comma, computer, comma, science, science. I love computer science. Okay, perfect. So what this will do is it will create a word or in a string array with four strings. The first one is I, the second one is love, the third one is computer, and the fourth one is science. So when I go to print these out, I can print line my words at 2, and it will print me out love. Oh, it will print me out computer. Of course it prints out computer. We got 0, 1, 2. Beautiful. Okay. So printing all these out would be a pain, right? I could do them all like this. My words at 0, my words at 1, my words at 2, blah, 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 blah. But if I have 400 things I need to print out, oh my god, that's such a pain. I have to go like this and change every single number. No. We're not doing it like that. Instead, we're going to use a for loop, okay? So for loops change a number each time. And what you can see here is that first I'd want to print out the 0th index, then the first index, then the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and so on, right? So instead of doing this, I can make a for loop. For int I equals 0, started at the 0th index. That's why we started at 0. I is less than, let's do is less than 3. No, I'll do less than 2. I plus plus. So I is going to go from 0 to 1 to 2. Or actually, it won't be 2. It'll just be 0 and 1. And what I can do here is I can print out my words at whatever I is. So because I starts at 0 and then runs the code and then goes to 1 and then runs the code and then stops, it'll print out I love. So watch this. I'll run this. I love, right? Awesome. What if okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 4 things, so I could do 4, right? Okay, that works, right? I is less than 4, this is the number of things. But what if I did 5 on accident, I miscounted? Okay, I print, exception, out of bounds exception. We don't have an index 4. What's going on right here is my words is trying to be accessed at index 4, which is outside of it. We got 0, 1, 2, 3, and no 4. So what if you have a list of, or an array of like 10,000 things, and you can't manually count all of them accurately? There's a way to do this. There's actually a function that allows you to get the length of an array. So real quick, I'm going to print line, my words dot length. Okay? And I'm going to just print this out at 0 for now. It prints out 4. So you can use my words, or whatever your array is, dot length, to get the number of items in it. So we can use this in a for loop oops, we can use this in a for loop to say start at 0, and while you're less than the length of it, of my words, you're going to print out that index. So watch this. Oops, what'd I do? Oh, not my words. My words.length. Perfect. I love computer science. Perfect, perfect, perfect. If I do, and this works because it's less than, right? This will have 0 at 0, or I'm sorry, I at 0, I at 1, I at 2, I at 3. And even though there are 4 things, it does not do 4. 4 would be out of bounds, and the reason we don't do it is because I is less than the length, right? I is less than the length. Alternatively, something that is equivalent to this that I've seen people do is less than or equal to my words.length minus 1. This is the same thing, does the same job. Yeah. So that's one way to do a for loop. The other way, that's called a C-style for loop. I'll keep this up here. Let me change it back to the other way because I think it's a little easier to read. This is a C-style for loop. C-style. There's actually this thing called an enhanced for loop just for arrays. And this is a little weird, but it's quicker to write. So instead of setting it up like this, we still make a variable. Let's say int x. Then we put this colon, and then we put my words. What's going to happen in this for loop is it's going to say, for every index in my words, save its value to x and run the code. Okay? Now there's an issue here. X is an integer. These are strings. So for this, we're actually going to need string. X does not go from 0 to some number. It doesn't count up. It's not an iterator in that sense. It's an iterator in the sense that it essentially replaces my words at I with a single value. So this same code would be like this. Perfect. Runs just the same. We have a variable called x that's a string, and each value from within the array gets saved to x, and the code runs each time with it. So those are 2 ways that you can write loops. I love C++ and C, so I always write my loops like this. If you're coming from Python, this is how it's done in Python. You can do it this way. You can do it that way. Everything is up to you. Both of them are going to be on the exam. So up to you. You should practice both of them. So hope you enjoy that one. Hopefully it makes sense. And that's it for this one. Bye.